Hello there everyone, Ashnflash here, and welcome on into my official feel guide for the LEGO Super Mario Series 1 blind bag, and I absolutely love this. The character packs are just so great. I think that they're just such a great idea. You could check out my review. I will link it at the top if you want to hear my thoughts on this, but we're going to go ahead, we're going to do a feel guide, and we're going to go in order of the checklist, so you can follow along with your checklist and see and just make some notes and different things when you're actually going to feel for these guys, what parts to feel for in the bag, because I think that each of them have something unique to offer. Some of them look very similar. Maybe you think that the spikes, you'll feel those things in the bag, but I can assure you I can help you. And yeah, anyways, I hope that you enjoy the video and stick around, but let's go ahead and let's get started. Alright, starting things off with the bullet bill here. I think that for me, when I was feeling for the bullet bill, the thing that gave it away the most was actually this front piece. Isolating this piece and feeling the studs on the top is really different than a lot of the other pieces that you might mistake it for in the series, like these other round pieces that do appear a lot in it. But again, those studs on the top will really be a giveaway, as well as these arms. No other character in the series actually has arms, so it's a really good just confirmation feeling for those two things. Another thing just to keep in mind going forward when you're actually going for the series, these pieces are so easy to actually feel. The transparent pieces, the little stands that are holding up the flying enemies, they're so easy to feel. So if you're like confused just going forward, maybe you think that you've got some other character and you might already have them to the side, and you feel this and you realize, oh, I do have them or don't. It can be so helpful to just determine like, oh, now we're not looking for any of those pieces. So when you're feeling for like the last character, you feel one of these pieces, you chuck it to the side. So now for the Pipa, honestly, what gave it away was a number of things. For starters, the cylinder pieces here, the tile pieces, the round tiles, those for sure. That's what I felt the most. And just remember, if you're feeling that, it's in each character, so don't worry about that. But the other thing that just was confirmation for who this was, besides these really large pieces, was actually this. This, if you take it apart to see underneath the bridge, it's one of those arm pieces or round pieces that you can really stick your finger inside that in the bag, so that's really helpful, and that's what confirmed it for me who this actually was. Now on to the Buzzy Beetle. This one might be a little bit harder to do. It was very easy to tell who was, like, you were able to tell immediately that you got these guys. First of all, they're the only ones with shells, as well as they've got two of the feet pieces that the Goomba, the bob-omb, and I think that's it for the series actually have. But they've also got these two cheese slopes. Now you might be thinking, well, what's the difference between this and Spiny? The difference is there's no spikes on the shell, so if you are able to feel that, that's a good indicator. There's no large round 2x2s, so that's another good indication, as well as you've got these pieces here, so they're not in the other one, so just feel for these. You've got 4 of them here to feel, as well as a couple of different bricks, 1x3, 1x2, and a 1x1, so you can tell the difference that way. Here is the urchin, and you might be thinking, well, it's pretty easy, it's got all the spikes. Just be careful with that, since it is included also with Fuzzy. But a couple other things that you could feel for are these little plant pieces once you have the spikes, since Fuzzy doesn't have them. But as well as this gear piece for the splash effect is probably the biggest giveaway, as well as just these pieces here. You'll really feel these round 2x2 bricks, and there are 3 of them, so don't mistake that for Spiny, but you could definitely feel that there's just more pieces in this bag than the other one as well. So just isolate the plant pieces and the spikes and different things like that. You'll be able to tell that this is Urchin. And speaking of Spiny, like I've said before, just do the opposite of what I've been saying, I guess. Just feel for the spikes. Make sure that you've got these round 1x1 cylinder pieces there, as well as you've got the actual like posts there, like the lightsaber pieces with the stud at the bottom, so really easy to feel for the flagpoles there. And just do the same thing. You'll be able to tell who this is pretty quickly if you just isolate and feel for the shell specifically. For the Flying Goomba, more often than not, this was the piece that I was able to tell who it was. Not the cloud piece, it was actually this. And just these points, they're just so much larger than anything else included for any other character. You could confirm this with the wing pieces as well, since there are some points in different things in other characters, but nothing quite as large as this, and go for the cloud piece as well, I would say. Here's the bob-omb, and honestly, just be careful with this one is what I'd say. When you're feeling for these pieces here at the bottom, you might feel the 2x3 brick and think, oh, I got him because that's the hill piece. Well, he's actually using here, the Pipa is using the 2x3 brick for the bottom as well. He's got the same sort of build here at the top as the top of the hill, so just be careful with that, I would say. But there's a lot to give away that this actually is the bob-omb, if you're able to feel for the little flame piece. He's also got some feet, which the Pipa doesn't, as well as the flower build here. And he's got just a bunch of other pieces that aren't included for other characters. So really, just go for that. And if you can, feel for that as well. That's another great option for you to actually feel for the bob-omb. Here is the Eep Cheap, and pretty easy to feel, I think. You've got the longer pieces here for the transparent parts, and it is used for other characters, but the wings, again, be careful not to think that this is the flying Goomba, but this piece on top is a really dead giveaway, as well as just the seaweed piece, of course, as well. It's so different than the coral. It's so much skinnier and flimsier. You could bend it and everything, whereas the coral you actually can't. So I'd say go for the coral and the underwater pieces for getting these two characters. Do I need to say anything for Blooper? I mean, just go for the coral. Like I just said, you could really feel it. You could see I'm pushing on it. It ain't budging at all. You can't bend the coral, so you're going to really be able to tell the difference. Also, you could probably feel this piece in the bag as well. It's also just got so many little tiny spikes here that aren't included in any other figure. So many little cheese slopes there. And yeah, there's just so many more pieces here. So don't mistake that for Eep Cheap, because they've also got a lot of pieces, but just be careful, but go for the coral. And lastly, here is Fuzzy, and there's so many things you could do. Number one, there's only one transparent piece, but the thing that I kept feeling was actually the little hinge here that lets you knock it down. I kept feeling these two hinge pieces. And again, these pieces here are included a lot for other characters, and don't mistake the spikiness for the urchin. Don't do that. So just be careful with what you're feeling for and what you're isolating. But honestly, this piece here is a really big giveaway, and the little hinge, because that's not included for anyone else. Well, there you have it, everyone. That is my feel guide for the Super Mario Series 1 character packs. And I really, really love these. I think that they're so great. They're so unique. And I just hope that this video has helped you sort of figure out what you're trying to do, and who maybe you're just wanting one character. Maybe you're just wanting the Flying Goomba or Blooper and the Bullet Bill, since they're just such a big fan favorite. I hope that this helped, because honestly, I was going into this thinking this is going to be so difficult to feel. I was so worried. But there's quite a lot here to actually feel for and realize, oh, this is unique to this person. So I hope that with this video, I've kind of pointed out and shown you some of the things that you should be looking for and the uniqueness between these characters. Because honestly, some of them do look quite alike, and I could see why you might make some mistakes and different things on your first try picking these up. But just be careful, just watch this, and if you're not sure, just keep feeling. And I know that there's a lot of pieces, and it is different than other characters and other minifigure series where they have tiny pieces and they'll put a bag inside of a bag. So it's a little harder since you've got this really big bag and there's like so many pieces just moving around inside. So yeah, anyways, everyone, I hope that you did enjoy this video, and I hope that you do find this helpful. Let me know down below in the comment section if this did help you, or maybe if you're gonna go and try and use it. And I hope that you did enjoy the video, and I hope that you all have a great day. I'll see you all in the next one.